Drive-by shootings have become the somewhat norm throughout gangs across the United States, the go-to type of shooting if you're wanting to get the job done and get out of the area fast to evade law enforcement. But what about when the shoe is on the other foot? What about when it's law enforcement acting out in a drive-by shooting? Over these past couple of weeks, body cam and surveillance footage has captured the moments police are the shooters in a drive-by, not just once, but twice. At approximately 7 PM on the 21st of July 2022, Foothill Division gang enforcement detail officers out of the Los Angeles Police Department were patrolling the area of the 7800 block of Radford Avenue when they came across 37-year-old Ramon Mosqueda, a well-known gang member getting out of a parked vehicle outside of a residence.
What the fuck?
16. I got it. You got it?
16-64, show me 608. Radford shots fired, officer in detail. We got one suspect.
Hey, stay right there. Stay right there. Right, stay right there.
We got Hispanic, white shirt, black hat.
I got.
All units, officer needs help. 782 Radford,
You good,
782 Radford.
Good?
Shots fired. One suspect ran into the backyard wearing a white shirt and a black hat, requesting backup area and supervisor.
Hey, let me see your hand. Just get away. Get away from the gun. Get away from the gun.
What happened? Get away from the gun. Why you got shot at? Come on, you have family over
Stop.
there.
Stop. Just get out of here, man. That's it. That's it. Get out of here.
Shot at. I have a
Just
family
back up.
inside.
Just back up. Just back up, man. It's all good.
What the fuck? Hey, stay right there. Stay right there. I got
All units, officer needs help.
you get that? Yeah, good.
Police had assumed that Ramon, being a known gang member, had been armed after they spotted him holding this. But, ladies and gentlemen, that isn't a gun, rather a lighter. After spotting him, officers began to open fire from their vehicle, and Ramon made a run for it. He ran into a house and eventually fled the area, but police waited outside for SWAT to arrive as they believed he was still inside. Of course, by the time they got in, he was gone. On August 2nd, 2022, Ramon was picked up by the LAPD over an unrelated robbery offence. And on the 4th of August 2022, he was charged with 3 counts of robbery. The LAPD had this to say on the matter.
In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is complete, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. The board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all Los Angeles police officers. If you would like more information on how the LAPD investigates all serious uses of force, please visit lapdonline.org, where you can find the LAPD's use of force policy and procedures.
On the 18th of July 2022, at approximately 7:30 PM, Southwest Division officers out of the Los Angeles Police Department responded to a radio call of an assault with a deadly weapon in the 4100 block of Edge Hill Drive. The suspect was reported to be armed with a black semi-automatic handgun.
Yeah, hi, I'm at 41 Edge Hill Drive.
I'm sorry, what was the numbers on Edgefield or Edge Hill?
41 Edge Hill Drive. And I got a guy, a dark-skinned guy with dreadlocks. He has like a flannel shirt on.
You said 41 Edge Hill?
41. I'm a bit excited.
413 Edge Hill, and there is a male, white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
He's black with dreadlocks. He looks like he's a transient.
Okay.
And I told him to leave, and he pulled out a gun.
Is he still there?
Looked like a black semi-automatic gun. Yeah, he's in front of the trash cans. I told him to leave, and then he asked me, "You leave? I'll leave. I want you can leave." And then all of a sudden, I saw a pistol in his hand.
Okay, is he still there?
He might be out there still.
LA City 911, operator 438.
Hi, I just was called about a guy who's walking around with a gun, and I then saw police officers are looking for him, and I don't think they see him, but he just started walking up Degnan, just north of King, and I just wanted someone to get that information to them.
Deadman?
Degnan, Degnan, just north of King, and I just saw him driving in the other direction. North of Martin Luther King, yeah. And he's
Martin
walking
Luther
up
King,
Degnan.
right? Not King.
Yes.
Okay, one
right,
second.
Sorry. In Oakland, they say King.
The suspect, later identified as U.S. Air Force veteran, 39-year-old Jermaine Petit, had multiple run-ins with the Los Angeles Police Department. He pinpointed that his crystal meth addiction and PTSD made him act out in ways that would see him on the wrong side of the law. A news segment ran in early 2019 spoke of how Jermaine's mother wasn't sure how his life would turn out after being arrested 24 times and showing bizarre behavior. However, one deputy stepped in to get him the help he needed, and at that point it seemed as if he got his life back on track.
A local Air Force veteran suffering from PTSD and in and out of jail dozens of times says he's alive today after his mother and an LA County Sheriff's deputy worked to get him help. Now he's on the road to recovery. Eyewitness News reporter Carlos Granda has his story.
I got my son back.
Charlotte Blackwell says just a few years ago she wasn't sure what would happen to her son, Jermaine Petit. He had been arrested 24 times and was showing bizarre behavior.
Off crystal meth, I didn't know what I was on. You high off crystal meth, you believe certain things, start believing in things that don't exist.
Petit says he was taking drugs and suffering from PTSD. An Air Force veteran who signed up just before the 9/11 attacks, he served as an EMT in Germany. When he returned, he started having problems.
I used to have nightmares sometimes about dead people, dead babies, and just the dead.
After this incident with deputies, his mother fought to get him help. She spoke with LA County Sheriff's Lieutenant James Powers, who worked with a friend at the VA.
I want to help people. And Mr. Petit here, he deserves that help. He's a veteran, he's fought for our country, and he's represented the military to help provide the freedom that we have. And it's the least I could do is to reach out.
Instead of going to jail, Powers and others were able to get Petit into Phoenix House in Santa Ana, a facility that helps him with his PTSD.
Coping skills, a plan, formulating a plan, realizing your triggers, working on how to reduce your triggers.
He's become a different person. He's somebody now who wants to get help because you don't have to be here. You can walk away anytime, but he's decided to stay.
The good news, in 2 weeks, Jermaine moves out of Phoenix House and into transitional housing, the next step on his road to a full recovery.
Fast forwarding to the day in question though, and officers responding to those 911 calls were driving to the scene, and as they entered Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, they spotted none other than Jermaine Petit, the suspect.
Hey, take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket, bro. Take your hands out of your pocket. It's not a gun, bro. Hey, drop it! 5-7, officer needs help, shots fired, officer needs help. Bronson or
All units, officer needs help.
Gun right here. You got it. Hey, stop reaching for it! Stop reaching for it! Stop reaching for it! Get cover, guys, get cover, get cover in the car. Don't move! Don't! Get on the fucking wall. What's that in your hand? What's that in your fucking hand? Oh, shit. What is? Bro, you said that's not a gun? Huh? Hey, drop it! Drop!
All units, officer needs help.
Gun right here! You got it? Stop! Hey, stop moving! Stop reaching for it! Stop reaching! reaching for it! Get cover, guys, get cover! Get cover behind the car! Don't move! Don't move!
Police would open fire on Jermaine after he refused to stop for them and consistently turned around waving some kind of object that was in his hand. At first, officers thought this was a firearm, but as time continues, at least one of the officers confirms that he wasn't holding a gun. It was actually a black latch actuator. However, when a second patrol car comes into view, he immediately opens fire from within the car once Jermaine points the object towards him, just like he'd done a few times prior to the car pulling up. The LAPD would later confirm that Jermaine was rushed to hospital by paramedics and would survive the ordeal. He was arrested for 2 outstanding felony warrants, including obstructing and resisting an officer and assault with a deadly weapon upon a police officer. 2 days after the incident, the case was presented to the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office and 2 counts of brandishing a replica firearm were filed for consideration. However, the case is still pending. The LAPD had this to say in regards to the case.
Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics transported Petit to a local hospital where he was treated for the gunshot wounds sustained during the incident. Investigators recovered a 6-inch black metallic latch actuator at scene and booked it as evidence. Petit was arrested for 2 outstanding felony warrants, obstructing, resisting an officer, and assault with a deadly weapon upon a police officer. On July 20th, 2022, this case was presented to the Los Angeles City Attorney's Office for filing consideration on the following charges against Petit: 2 counts of brandishing a replica firearm. This case is still pending. Jermaine Petit is a 39-year-old resident of Los Angeles. In the next several months, the LAPD will continue to investigate and analyze this incident. We will continue interviewing any new witnesses that may come forward and complete any forensic tests. After the investigation is complete, our Critical Incident Review Division will forward their findings to the Chief of Police, who will make his recommendation to the Civilian Board of Police Commissioners. The board will evaluate the evidence to determine whether the officer's tactics, drawing and exhibiting a weapon, and use of deadly force in this instance met the high standards expected of all Los Angeles police officers. If you'd like more information on how the LAPD investigates all serious uses of force, visit lapdonline.org, where you can also find the LAPD's use of force policy and procedures.